For contrast, as back in behind those, Perfect Hedge is possibly your superfecta horse.
All right, quite a finish there. We're not sure if Attica did get up, but Michael Rona and the horse closing on the outside usually gets the nod for the photo for the win. We'll take one last look at it and see on this today's 7th race, 6 furlongs for maiden 3-year-olds and up. The two spooled up, put away the favorite, Patriot, with Bobby Gonzalez. Kyle Cannell's on spool up. But here comes Attica with a late kick on the outside, and that's Catalino Martinez for Doug Utley, and I'm not sure. So we'll come back later and find out who wins the photo finish, but let's go back to yesterday at the races and take a look at Saturday's 10-race card. As we start the day with the first race from Saturday, starter allowance purse of $20,000 for 2-year-olds, and let's go. We'll have a 3-2 favorite on the bottom. Field of 5 starts today for Saturday, yesterday at Bay Meadows.
Racing. Too Shy looked to bobble a little, and Lucayan Secret wanted to duck in coming onto the main track and has lost some ground as back at the tail of the field. Epitome of a Lady finds a very easy lead at the completion of a furlong. Too Shy is now moving into second. Cassie's Mark third, Lucayan Secret improving on her inside. Table for 2 is last 5 lengths from the front. Epitome of a Lady by 3 parts of a length to Too Shy. 2 to Lucayan Secret taking up 3rd position. Cassie's Mark running 4th with 4 lengths to make up. And Table for 2 is 4 lengths off at the rear. It's Epitome of a Lady coming past the 5/16, has travelled beautifully. It's Epitome of a Lady by 2. Lucayan Secret now off the fence, running into a clear second. Too Shy has had enough, and Cassie's Mark not travelling at all well. Into the stretch, only a couple of chances. Epitome of a Lady's done it beautifully in front. Lucayan Secret lost some ground coming onto the main track, is trying to gather herself and issue a challenge, but Epitome of a Lady's going at least as well. Epitome of a Lady about 3 or 4 lengths now, and Epitome of a Lady much too good for Lucayan Secret in the run home, and Cassie's Mark a non-threatening 3rd.
So Epitome of the Lady winning here in the first half of the double yesterday, paying $740, closing around 5-2. And Epitome of the Lady was won by Frank Alvarado for Jerry Hollendorfer. And it's Hollendorfer, he's part owner with George Todaro. That started off Saturday at the races with the first half of the daily double. We'll go on mile and 16th in race number 2. These are 3-year-olds and up. As we take a look at who goes to post, the 8-5 favorite is Shadow Justice. Shadow Justice is a beaten favorite in his last 2 outings. This is Steve Miotti and Pablo Flores. Second half of the double from yesterday.
Continental, 9-5 Shadow Justice. Set, racing. Snappy Continental off sharply. Front runners looking for the lead and getting it. Shadow Justice going into second. Snappy Continental back to 3rd inside Ride the Surf. From Hold the Advantage, I'm Jackie's Boy and Samurai Song. 9 lengths covering them, and the aptly named front runner boots away by 4 lengths. In second position, Shadow Justice, 2.5 lengths to Ride the Surf. 3rd in the middle of a line of 3. Snappy Continental to his inside. Hold the Advantage is 3 wide around the first bend. The grey I'm Jackie's Boy, 5 lengths further back, and last is Samurai Song. Front runner carving it out, going to the back stretch by 6 lengths. Shadow Justice in second, the pace steadying a little bit. In 3rd, Snappy Continental with Hold the Advantage in close attendance. Ride the Surf has lost touch with that pair, is now back 15 from the lead. And the last couple, Samurai Song and I'm Jackie's Boy. Still a good lead halfway through the race for front runner. He's 6 lengths in the front of Snappy Continental, who moves up around Shadow Justice. 3 lengths to Hold the Advantage, 5 to Samurai Song, then Ride the Surf with I'm Jackie's Boy, 3/8 from home. Front runner now 3.5 lengths. Snappy Continental's coming after him very strongly. Shadow Justice 3rd, has lost a couple of lengths on Snappy Continental in the last quarter mile. He's now going to swing to the outside of Snappy. They turn for home. Front runner is being engulfed. Snappy Continental goes to him. Shadow Justice wandered wide. He gives Snappy Continental 3 lengths in upper stretch. Samurai Song making up some ground. He's 4th, but it's Snappy Continental looking all over a winner. Coming to the 16th pole, Snappy Continental now 6 lengths. Shadow Justice puts his head into 2nd. Samurai Song down the outside 3rd, but Snappy Continental, much too good, has beaten Shadow Justice half a dozen lengths with Samurai Song 3rd.
Okay, Snappy Continental wins yesterday's second race. Doug Utley winning here as he trained. It was ridden by Bobby Gonzalez for the John Dieter Trust. Snappy Continental capturing the second race. Now we're going to go live to Del Mar for the running of their 7th race. Right now the favorite is America's Friend at 2-1. It'll be a field originally of 10, and they're going to go a mile on the turf. This is live from Del Mar, today's 7th race.
And away they go. All came out well. Tuta Bella is allowed a loose rein and has to go on and lead them, but Silver Z wants the lead, and Silver Z goes on at a fast early pace. Light My Fire Baby tucking back into 3rd, then Christiana's Heat down at the rail, Comedy Girl. America's Friend taken back 3rd last, 6 off these leaders. Then we come back to Bachelorette 1, and at the back is Swiss Current. Going very wide here with Silver Z, but absolutely winging out on the lead. Didn't corner well, but it is Silver Z who's opening up to lead by 4. Tutabella's nice and comfortable in 2nd. Just in behind that comes Light My Fire Baby, Christiana's Heat. They followed by Comedy Girl. America's Friend has the red cap, a good 8 lengths off the leader. Then there's another 2 back to Bachelorette 1, and Swiss Current is trailing. They go past the half-mile pole, and Silver Z, a little more relaxed now, leads it by just over 2, but Tutabella now starts to cut into that lead. Then we have Christiana's Heat along the inside, Light My Fire Baby in 4th. Then it's Comedy Girl. America's Friend is still 6 off those leaders. In behind that comes Bachelorette 1 and Swiss Current. They come into the top of the lane now, and Silver Z still the leader, taken on by Tutabella. Along the inside, Light My Fire Baby, and now here's America's Friend in the red cap. And America's Friend coming with a big run on the outside. Tutabella, Light My Fire Baby gets a dream run through down at the rail, but it's America's Friend, the leader, with an 8th to go. America's Friend still being hand-ridden, gets 1 tap and goes on. Light My Fire Baby on the inside, a late run from Bachelorette 1, but America's Friend's home and dry. America's Friend and Alex Solis won it by nearly 2. Light My Fire Baby 2nd, Bachelorette 1 3rd, and Tutabella.
Friend wins the 4-year-old filly's 4th win on the year, 2 in a row, ridden by Alex Solis for Barry Abrams, and closed the 2-1 favorite here over the 8, who was 5-2. We scratched the 3 and 10. Lethal Heat and Exquisite Beauty were out. Once again, the winner here of the 7th race from Del Mar on this Sunday afternoon was number 6, the favorite, America's Friend for Barry Abrams and Alex Solis. We're coming to you on closing day at Bay Meadows. They'll be running the final race long after we're off the air, probably close to 6:30, but we'll get all the coverage from yesterday and most of today. We'll be right back with more of Bay Meadows. Do you have water pressure problems? Are you tired of waiting for your appliances to stop before you take a shower? Do you still drink water out of old galvanized pipes? Call Service One Plumbing and we'll change those pipes in 1 day. For over 2 decades, we have been providing quality work that is guaranteed. We are here when you need us. Service One Plumbing. Call us toll free, 1-888-694-8999. All right, we're going to go to the turf for a 3-year-old and up race. We'll scratch the 2 Wild Yankee, and the favorite in here, Nakisha, at 2-1, and Nowally Hill and Boy Howdy with Baze, both at 5-2. We'll pick this one up in progress.
Followed after another gap of 3 or 4 by Novelty Hill, and Nakiska last of all. Steady pace as they race inside the half-mile pole. Keyfargo now moving away 2.5 lengths. Boy Howdy is 2nd from Action Jack. Gulf Wing the rail. 2 to Novelty Hill, joined by Nakiska. Coming to the 5/16. It's Keyfargo by almost 3. Boy Howdy 2nd. Action Jack, the blue cap on the outside. Gulf Wing sticks to the rail. Novelty Hill next on the inside is going to follow Gulf Wing into the race as they swing for home, where the leader is Keyfargo by 2 lengths to Gulf Wing. Boy Howdy the outside. Novelty Hill has room along the inside if he's good enough, but Keyfargo remains the one to beat coming past the 8th pole. He's 2.5 lengths to the good of Gulf Wing at Novelty Hill. It's Keyfargo in the front from Gulf Wing, and then comes Nakiska from Novelty Hill, but Keyfargo holds Gulf Wing and has won by 3/4 of a length. In a photo for third, Novelty Hill just held out Nakiska.
So Keyfargo the winner here. Keyfargo winning by a length, and Keyfargo was ridden by Joey Castro for Ricardo Perez. And in this race, Keyfargo was a runner-up the last couple of times, so the 5-year-old picks up his second win on the year. And we'll move on to race number 4. A lot of distance races yesterday, including this one. And our 3-2 favorite is Soccer Dan, the 6 for Andy Mathis. He's the owner and trainer. And Soccer Dan has been a runner-up last couple times, still looking for the first win of 2008 for the 7-year-old.
They're 7-5 and 2-1 respectively. Racing Bonfire Bird off best from Fantastic Event in the white cap. James Creek Red between this pair, followed by Devil Cielo, Soccer Dan. Last is Troy Fan. It'll be Bonfire Bert to do the honours. Bonfire Bert leading James Creek Red out of the stretch, with Fantastic Event third, Soccer Dan angling towards the inside. Then comes Devil Cielo, 5 from the lead and 3 clear of Troy Fan. Bonfire Bert 2 lengths in the front of James Creek Red at the 6 furlongs. Then comes Fantastic Event outside Soccer Dan, Devil Cielo right behind that pair, and 3 lengths to Troy Fan bringing up the rear as Bonfire Bert leads to the 5/8. Bonfire Bert by 2 lengths to James Creek Red. Fantastic Event 3 wide, and on the fence Soccer Dan is within 2 1/4 lengths of the lead as they bunch a little. Devil Cielo's a close 5th, and 2 1/2 lengths to Troy Fan last at the half mile. Bonfire Bert by 1 1/2 lengths to James Creek Red. In third position comes Fantastic Event. Then Soccer Dan on the inside, Devil Cielo, the red colours with 4 lengths to make up, and Troy Fan 2 behind Devil Cielo. Bonfire Bert 1 length to James Creek Red around the second turn. Soccer Dan boxed away presently on the back of the leader. Fantastic Events out 3 wide. Devil Cielo being taken 4 wide, and a gap of 4 lengths to Troy Fan. Several hopes turning for home. James Creek Red draws to a narrow lead from Bonfire Bert. Now Soccer Dan's in the clear. Devil Cielo going with him. Fantastic Event dropping off at the 8th pole. And it's Devil Cielo just in front from Soccer Dan and James Creek Red. Devil Cielo starting to pull clear with a 16th to run. Although James Creek Red's fighting on well. It's Devil Cielo from James Creek Red and Devil Cielo and neck to James Creek Red and 3 lengths off third Soccer Dan.
All right, Devil Cielo wins it here. Jerry Hollendorfer and Russell Baze hooked up for this winning. Second win on the year for the 4-year-old. And George Tadaro and Hollendorfer are the owners. Race number 5 from Saturday. Once again, a distance race. This one will be a mile for 3-year-olds and up. And the purse is $7,000. And the favorite in here will be on the rail, Franklin's Tower. Franklin's Tower closes the favorite at 2-1 and had a recent try at Santa Rosa on the turf. Back to the main track today.
Stride, tackled for the lead by Red Avenue. Group of the Future showing speed in the black and grey colours. A Fleet Buck's going to settle 5th. Hoping and Wishing 6 off the early lead. Murano trails into the first turn. Red Avenue goes to the front with 7/8 to run. 2 lengths Group of the Future outside Franklin's Tower. 2 1/2 Young Luck. 2 more lengths to a Fleet Buck covering Murano, and Hoping and Wishing goes back last. It's Red Avenue at the 6 furlong pole under a strong hold. Just over 2 lengths to Group of the Future. This leader wants to get on with the job, and Gonzalez is trying to ration his speed. Red Avenue by 2 lengths at the 5/8. In second, Group of the Future outside Franklin's Tower. A Fleet Buck striding up to join that pair, and followed closely by the grey Young Luck. Then 2 lengths to Murano and 4 lengths to Hoping and Wishing last at the half mile. It's Red Avenue the leader. Red Avenue 1.25 lengths from Group of the Future, and a Fleet Buck making headway 3 wide. Young Luck 2.5 lengths back 4th. Franklin's Tower on the inside, 5 lengths from the lead. Then Murano, well clear of Hoping and Wishing. Coming up past the 5/16 pole, Group of the Future takes a slight lead from Red Avenue. A Fleet Buck a length away third. 3 to Franklin's Tower, Murano. Young Luck dropping out. Turning for home, Group of the Future leading Red Avenue, and out wider comes a fleet buck clear of Murano, Franklin's Tower. In the direction of the 8th pole, Group of the Future with the lead. A fleet buck at start number 91 is warming to the task on the outside. Group of the Future taken on in earnest by a fleet buck. It's a fleet buck, Group of the Future, clear of Franklin's Tower and Murano. Group of the Future and a fleet buck photo finish. Group of the Future beat a fleet buck narrowly. 5 clear of Franklin's Tower, then Murano.
So Group of the Future will win it by a long neck. Group of the Future is a 4-year-old, first win of the year in 12 outings this year, and was ridden by Pablo Flores for Nicholas Sloan. He's also the owner, and I should correct myself and say Pedro Flores was in the saddle of the victorious Group of the Future. Pablo rode a fleet buck, and a fleet buck was the runner-up. So the Flores were battling all the way to the brothers battled all the way to the wire, and by a neck, Group of the Future won. All right, the first 5 are in from Saturday on this closing day, the final day of a track that opened in 1934 on November 3rd. Some 15,000 people on hand. It's closing some 75 years later. Now, we put together a DVD with all the historic accomplishments, and there are some of the people that were on hand the day Seabiscuit ran. You can get a copy of this DVD with all the great history of Bay Meadows, and we'll tell you how to get one. If you weren't at the track today to pick it up, you can help save retired horses. So make your donation to Karma, C-A-R-M-A, and receive a DVD copy of Bay Meadows, A Rich Tradition. Send a donation of at least $6 to Bay Meadows, Post Office Box 5050, that's San Mateo, California, 94402. Now, this is a donation that goes to saving retired horse races. What we'll do with that donation, we'll send you a copy of a historical documentary on the history of Bay Meadows back from 33. There goes Seabiscuit on the track, #1 that day when Seabiscuit won the Bay Meadows Handicap in 1937. So once again, here's the address of where to get your copy. Send your $6 or up donation to, make it out to Karma, C-A-R-M-A, and then we'll send you a DVD copy of a little bit of this, what you saw. And where do you send your donation? To Bay Meadows, Post Office Box 5050, San Mateo, California, 94402. And we'll do that one more time before tonight's show is over. We'll be right back.
Hey, Thomas.
Howard and Johnny are at the bar.
Hey, Thomas, pick 6 today?
Hey, Thomas, your usual beer?
Wager on every available simulcast race on more than 300 monitors in a clean, friendly, and comfortable setting. Free parking, full bar, snack bar, and a turf club. Alameda County Fairgrounds, bringing the races to you.
Okay, back to Bay Meadows for Saturday at the races on the turf, going 7.5 furlongs. And in this race, we have 2-1 on Bell Acton. Bell Acton for the favorite at 2-1, and Port of Entry will be at 5-2.
Ready, racing. Bell Acton and Polish Charmer fly out of the gate. They land a couple of lengths in front of the rest. Fancy Summer and Tonight Are You Lonesome are making up ground, and they're in close attendance to the speed now. Bell Acton will lead them out of the stretch. From Tonight Are You Lonesome, who got a few paths wide. Fancy Summer on her outside, and Polish Charmer was carried a little bit wide, now drops in behind that pair. As they go to the back stretch, it's Bell Acton leading Tonight Are You Lonesome. Fancy Summer's been caught on the outside of Tonight Are You Lonesome around that first turn and lays third in the back stretch, and this trio now dash away 5 lengths clear of Polish Charmer, and She Laughs and Flies. Port of Entry in the yellow and black colours is 10 lengths off the lead. She's followed by Low Risk Get Me Jolly. Towards the tail, Rareville Racing 3 wide, and Novato's last. 3/8 left to run, and Bell Acton leads Tonight Are You Lonesome just over a length. Fancy Summer losing ground on that pair while lugging out around the far turn. She laughs and flies coming into the picture with a very nice move into a clear third. She's followed by Port of Entry, Low Risk Get, and next is Rareville. In the stretch, 3/16 to go. Bellacton 2 lengths in front of She Laughs and Flies. 3 lengths to Tonight Are You Lonesome, who's running about, interfered with Rareville. Novado's down the outside. Port of Entry, Low Risk Get next. Bellacton has been headed by She Laughs and Flies. Novato is coming fast from Port of Entry. Big finish. She Laughs and Flies held out Novato. Bellacton in a photo for third with Port of Entry, Low Risk Get right behind those.
All right, the maiden score here for the 4-year-old filly owned by Al Katishan. And it was David Lopez and Bill Delia hooking up for the win and paid $20.20 on the $2 win bet for She Laughs and Flies. Race 7 will be a sprint from Saturday. In this maiden purse of 8,000, fillies, mares, 3-year-olds and up. Our favorite in here will be a lukewarm favorite, Vino Dolce. So a wide open event featuring 10 going 6 furlongs.
Baze Valley Girl quickly into stride. Vino Dolce the last to get going. There's speed coming out wide from Madison's Lady and Full Bloom. Runner Savio run in the white cap. Nearer the inside, Fleet Feline and Joy to the Moon in the red caps, only 2 lengths off the early speed. They're followed by Token Kiss, Vino Dolce beginning to improve. Olay's Pride is 6 lengths off the lead, then Too Good for the X, and Bees Valley Girl gets back 5 lengths last. Into the turn run, Savio run is a length in front of Full Bloom, outside Fleet Feline, followed very wide by Madison's Lady. Joy to the Moon splitting runners 3 lengths off the lead. A couple away to Token Kiss, Vino Dolce, clear of Olay's Pride. Bees Valley Girl next to last and Too Good for the X at the tail. Run Savio run leads for home, just over a length from Full Bloom at the top of the stretch. Then Fleet Feline towards the inside from Joy to the Moon. Wider out Madison's Lady from Token Kiss and Bees Valley Girl. Run Savio runners going great guns. Comes to the 16th pole, a 5-length leader. Full Bloom second from Joy to the Moon, Fleet Feline, Bees Valley Girl. But it's all Run Savio run. Arrives by 7 lengths. Full Bloom second. 2 lengths in front of Joy to the Moon, and Fleet Feline ran fourth.
And Run Savio Run was an easy 8th length winner yesterday. Run Savio Run had finished third at Santa Rosa. This is a maiden win for Steve Miotti and Pablo Flores. Letterman Racing's the owner. Run Savio Run, $12 on the victory. As we go to the turf, we'll go a mile 16th. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Number 1, Summer Scuffle was scratched. And the favorite, My Little Cinder and Aces Over Queens, both going off at 2 to 1.
2. Ready. Racing. My Little Cinder comes away cleanly with Miss Opus. High Shimer up towards the front early, but there's no speed on. Shy Contessa, the black and lime colours within 2 lengths of the front, and they're followed by Baba Zula. Both Aces Over Queens and Alabama are wide and picking up ground to a joint third as Sol's Comet drifts back to the tail. Miss Opus lands on a very soft lead, takes them out of the stretch 2 lengths in front of Shy Contessa, with Alabama crossing to third. High Shimer the inside fourth, followed closely by Aces Over Queens. My Little Cinder back along the inside 7 lengths from the front. Baba Zula tugging a bit back second last. Sol's Comet trails. Miss Opus in front by 2 lengths at the 5/8 pole from Shy Contessa. A gap of 4 to High Shimer with Alabama, followed by Aces Over Queens, My Little Cinder. Baba Zula second last, 11 from the lead, and Sol's Comet trails in the middle stages. Miss Opus having it all their own way in the front, leads 2.5 lengths Shy Contessa, 6 lengths My Little Cinder. The rail opened for her, and a very decisive move by Joe Castro sends My Little Cinder to third, 5 lengths off the lead going into the second turn. Next is Aces Over Queens. Alabama dropping out, passed by Sol's Comet, then High Shimer and Baba Zula right back at the tail and blocked to boot. At the quarter pole, Miss Opus leads for home. 2.5 lengths Shy Contessa. They're followed by My Little Cinder. The orange blinkers swinging to the outside. Aces Over Queens is next. Baba Zula getting into the clear. At the 8th pole, Miss Opus by 3 lengths. Shy Contessa second. Aces Over Queens is next. They're followed by My Little Cinder, but Miss Opus is the leader. She's clear close to home. She's had a gifted run in the front, and Miss Opus wins 2 lengths to Aces Over Queens. Shy Contessa third. Alabama might be through for fourth, just in front of Baba Zula and My Little Cinder.
In this race yesterday goes to number 3, Miss Opus. Miss Opus for Richard Miller. He's the owner and trainer, and it was Roberto Gonzalez in the saddle. Showed speed last time out. This is the maiden win here after 16 previous losses. The winner, Miss Opus. All right, let's quickly get the 9th in here. This is a little sprint. No, I shouldn't say little. It's a $31,000 purse. But the big entry of 1 and 1A will close at 8-5 for foul play, and Mom is ready.
For the 9th of 10. Racing. You're My Boy Blue is away fast with Castle Dermot. Seafire showing dash between them. Natasha's Excess revving up on the extreme outside, and Foul Play diving through towards the inside. Mad Scramble for the lead at the end of a furlong. 7.1 drifting back 4 off the pace in company with Mama's Ready. One Sharp Mensch 4 lengths last at the half mile. You're My Boy Blue holds a slender advantage from Seafire. Castle Dermot 3 wide. Foul Play is drifting back 4th, 3 off the lead, followed closely by Natasha's Excess, 7.1, and back towards the tail, Mum is Ready with 8 lengths to make up. One Sharp Mensch has lost touch completely. It'll be You're My Boy Blue leading for home. 1 length at the quarter pole from Seafire. Castle Dermot another length back under the whip out wider. Foul Play towards the inside running 4th, and then 7.1 and Natasha's Excess at the 8th pole. And You're My Boy Blue maintaining the front running role has extended to a 2.5 length lead. Castle Dermot's running home into 2nd, but You're My Boy Blue with his head in front most of the journey gives Hollendorfer a triple, beating Castle Dermot, Seafire, and Mum is Ready up for 4th.
You're My Boy Blue. Modesto Linares riding for Jerry Hollendorfer. Runner-up last time out, 3rd win on the year, returning $22 with a nice upset for a Jerry Hollendorfer saddled horse. As we quickly go to the 10th to wrap up Saturday at the races, they're going a mile and 16th on the turf. We scratch a few out of here, including the 4 and 5. And we end up with a favorite in here at even money, a lot of dar. The 9 will be the favorite. Let's go.
Codamore last. As they come past the quarter pole, Star Spells just in front from River Rebel. Here comes a lot of Dar striding into it boldly, and he sweeps straight past those early leaders. On a gulch trying to squeeze through on the fence. High in the air is putting in a dash down the outside. Unusual Men weaving a passage. It's a lot of Dar just the leader from High in the air, and Unusual Men getting up on the inside, but a lot of Dar in front from Unusual Men, and a lot of Dar's going to make it 4 on the day for Hollendorfer and Tadaro. Nosing Unusual Men high in the air 3rd, either River Rebel or On a Gulch for 4th.
By the barest of margins of victory, it was by the head there on the outside. A lot of Dar does win it. A lot of Dar, the favorite. That's Russell Baze and Jerry Hollendorfer in the 10th and final on Saturday. All right, we'll quickly take a quick break, and then when we come back, they'll be breaking out of the gate for the live running of today's 8th from closing day at Bay Meadows.
Could your racing stable use a boost? Last year, California Breds earned over $57 million in California, plus owners' awards of $1.6 million. If you race in California, it really does pay to buy in California at Barrett's. Our fall selected yearling sale, conducted September 30th, will offer quality California-bred yearlings by nationally ranked sires. Recent graduates include graded winners Golden Doc A and Lethal Heat. For catalogs, contact Barrett's or visit our website.
All right, they're in the gate and getting set for today's 8th race here at Bay Meadows. There's 10 races today. This is the final day of live racing ever at Bay Meadows, which opened in 1934. This is a mile and 16th on the turf course here. Originally a field of 11. Let's go to Michael Rona for the call. Naughty Cow on the rail was 8-5 on the morning line.
31-1 shot. Local Hero causing a slight delay. Looks like they've got him in now. Set. Racing. Slow getaway for Beckett. Naughty Cal's off nicely near the inside, headed by Dark Matter, who's very prominent with the addition of blinkers. Mum's Ballet is up there in the early stages. Beckett's coming through quickly now to contest the lead. Local Hero, the extreme outside. His Perfect Style gets to fourth. 7/8 left to run. Mum's Ballet is the leader over Beckett, followed by his Perfect Style. Local Hero, the outside. Naughty Cal back on the fence, running a close fifth. They're rather tightly packed up at the 6 furlong pole. Kyle Cannell able to guide Naughty Cal off the rail for the run around that first turn, and the favourite gets into third position. Into the back, 5/8 to run, and Beckett is ahead in front of Mum's Ballet. A length and a half away comes Naughty Cal. On his outside, Local Hero, and they're followed in fifth by Tonight We Ride. In between horses next is his Perfect Style. Dark Matter midfield on the fence. Lucky General a little bit wide with a half mile to go, is back towards the tail of the field. No nibbling, about 3 lengths behind him as they race up now towards the 3/8 pole. We're on the inside. It's Beckett with a narrow lead over Local Hero. Naughty Cal on the inside as third, followed closely by Tonight We Ride. Lucky General is out wide. Even deeper, no nibbling being set alight from the tail of the field. Mum's Ballet is well back with Kima B in that tight clump of horses. Swinging for home, and Beckett gets away by 2 lengths. Lucky General's the grey, running into a joint second with Naughty Cal. The rails open for Mum's Ballet. Next down the extreme outside is no nibbling from Kima B. They get to Beckett at the 16th pole. On the inside, Mum's Ballet badly checked, and now it's no nibbling. Going to the lead narrowly from Kima B, who flashes through, and Lucky General. It went to no nibbling. Narrowly from Lucky General, Kima B. Naughty Cal ran fourth. Mum's Ballet behind them ran fifth, or badly inconvenience near the 16th.
All right, a great call there by our track announcer, Michael Rona spotting what was going on in the late going there. And we're going to take another look at this finish. Quite a finish here in this turf race. They went a mile 16th. These were for maidens. And in this race, it was quite a finish. We'll take a look at it once again. But No Nibbling appeared to be the winner for Tim Bellisis on the outside there, as Kimmer B was trying to get through the 6, and then were blocked there on the inside. But we'll have the actual results for you on that photo. They're also going to have a little inquiry because, as Michael pointed out, there was someone got cut off there in the stretch. But let's go back and take a look at today's first race. Now, our guest announcer today, Ed Burgart, certainly you're familiar with Ed, longtime quarter horse announcer here at Bay Meadows, and of course is the premier quarter horse announcer in the country. He flew in from Los Alamitos to call the eventful first race of the day, in which Remarkable Eyes is the 7-5 favorite.
In the San Mateo Quarter Horse Dash and Perfect Evening and Genuine Botticelli both started off well. Remarkable Isa down along the inside, but Genuine Botticelli is lugging out badly, and Perfect Evening is now going on gamely but drifting in. Remarkable Isa had to shift directions. Here's Secret Walk, who's now closing in belatedly on the far outside. Perfect Evening down along the inside, and Secret Walk and Slow Modus, but it's Perfect Evening and Sergio Ruiz to take the final quarter horse race ever run at Bay Meadows over Secret Walk and Slow Modus and Remarkable Isa.
This quarter horse race, so the inquiry sign went up, and the winner, Perfect Evening, had to be disqualified, and so the winner ended up being Secret Walk, paying $19. Secret Walk was ridden by Alfredo Miranda for Miguel Gonzalez and was placed first after running second, wire-to-wire winner, but Perfect Evening took a few out of action right out of the start. All right, second race from closing day at Bay Meadows. We go to race 2. This will be a turf race. And this race, we have a 5-2 on Super Secret Evidence. And in this second race today, we ended up with a large field. And still, the favorite was Super Secret Evidence.
Into the true position. Racing. Dance the line, gone skimming away nicely with Scottish Idol. Mystery Hunter going up towards the lead in the red with white cap, and Storm Sayer is down the outside into a prominent spot. It'll be Mystery Hunter leading with a lap to go by just over a length to Gone Skimmin'. Similar margin, Storm Messiah getting into third position. Then Scottish Idol on the inside of J Bob, together 5 lengths off the lead. After the Lovin's going to cover extra ground, leaving the stretch. Super Secret Device is over on the inside, and the orange with black cap, 6 lengths from the lead. And well back Dance the Line. And then back towards the tail, King of Bling and Jack Story. Sir Dynamite's 4th last splitting horses. Mystery Hunter in front of Gone Skimmin' running to the 5/8 pole. Storm Sayer 3 lengths back third. A length and a half away, J Bob racing outside the favourite Super Secret Device. 2 lengths to Scottish Idol. After the Lovin' still 3 wide. Dance the Line over on the inside with 9 lengths to make up. 2 clear of Sir Dynamite. Then King of Bling and 4 lengths to Jack Story. Mystery Hunter is a clear-cut leader going to the 3/8 pole. Has taken them along at a steady clip. Is 2.5 lengths in front presently. Here's Storm Sayer picking up the chase, moving past Gone Skimmin'. They're followed by Super Secret Device, who's now 1 off the rail on the back of Storm Messiah. Outside the favourite comes J Bob. After the Lovin's now 4 wide. He's covered a lot of extra ground. Dance the Line's in traffic. And King of Bling the extreme outside. 3/16 to go. Mystery Hunter by 2. Storm Sayer second on the outside from Gone Skimmin'. Super Secret Device is next. Dance the Line's coming on. Then King of Bling. Mystery Hunter by a length at the 16th pole. Out wide. Dance the Line's coming strongly late. And the favourite Super Secret Device going with him. But still Mystery Hunter. Mystery Hunter led all the way. Won it by a neck from Dance the Line, who knows Super Secret Device for second. 4th would be either King of Bling or Storm Sayer.
The winner here was Mystery Hunter. The 6 goes wire to wire to win by a half a length, ridden by Louis Martinez for Sherry Monroe, and owned by Johnston and Baruman, winning in today's second half of the double on the turf. Now let's switch live to Del Mar for the running of their 8th race. Now this 8th race will be 6.5 furlongs. And our favorite, as we look right now, will be at 3-1. Presently, the favorite is Swift Demand. Gary Gomez for John Sadler. Swift Demand is the favorite at 3-1 over the 3, who is Dr. JJ at 4-1. Swift Demand, who's 0 for 3 on the year, was beaten 2 lengths last time out.
Goes in.
This is the 8th race on a Sunday card down at Del Mar. They'll race tomorrow.
Set.
In fact, Bay Meadows will be open tomorrow, free admission for satellite wagering on Saratoga and Del Mar. There's no more racing at Bay Meadows. Let's go live.
To a good
Here's
beginning.
Trevor Denman.
Steady Demand breaks best and heads for the lead on the far side. Ottaviani. Swift Demand in the white cap is right there too. Crimson Cowboy in the red shows early speed. Steamy Story coming through down at the rail, pulling hard up to third now. Dance with Gable is only 2 lengths off these leaders. Then back to Swisky, who's at the back of the leading group. And last of all is Dr. JJ. They run to the half-mile pole, and Steady Demand just in front now. Along the inside, Steamy Story is right there with them. Up alongside of those 2, we have Crimson Cowboy in there too. Alongside of that is Dance with Gable. Then we drop back to Swisky, who's now 4 lengths off these leaders. Ottaviani on the far side. Swift Demand is a good 7 lengths off the leaders, and 3 back to Dr. JJ. They come to the quarter pole, and Dance with Gable along the inside. Steady Demand is right there. Crimson Cowboy ridden along from third. Now here's Swisky coming to join the fray. Ottaviani and Swift Demand is running on in the white cap. They come for home. It's wide open. Swift Demand on the grandstand side starts to make good headway. Swisky gets a run through on the inside. Steady Demand and Dance with Gable, any 1 of 4. Swisky along the inside gets the lead. Swisky, Swift Demand on the outside. Swisky has won it. Swift Demand, Dance with Gable, and Steady Demand was 4th.
All right, Swift Ski. Martin Garcia, Mike Harrington, and a good race here for the 8th at Del Mar. And we'll come back with the prices. What we're going to do now is take a quick break. We'll take one little slow-mo look at it once again. But on the inside, there is Martin Garcia in front. And it looks like Dance with Gable, but maybe on the outside, lost the place. But we know the winner is Swisky. We'll take a quick break, 6-8. That's right, the Swift Man got up for second. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We still have more to go right up till 6 o'clock on this closing day at Bay Meadows.
People come from all over the world to visit San Francisco. And when it's time to dine, their #1 choice is a San Francisco landmark, Skoma's on Fisherman's Wharf. For over 30 years, Al Skoma has been serving ocean-fresh seafood in a relaxing and friendly atmosphere. Rated one of the top 10 restaurants in the United States, Skoma's. Isn't it time for your next visit?
All right, now we're switching. If you can keep up with this, we're going right up to Emerald Downs. I previewed this race on the radio yesterday, and this is the Longacres Mile. This is the 73rd running of the Longacres Mile, a Grade 3 for $300,000, and a full field of 12, including the big favorite, Tropic Storm. Tropic Storm is a 3-2 favorite for Craig DeLacy and Aaron Greider. Russell Baze goes out of town, ends up on a 15-1 shot. Southern Africa, #1 at 15-1. And it's Gary Baze on Flame Throwing Texan, the 8, and that's at 10-1. As True Metropolitan is at 7-2, but the big favorite, #2, is Tropic Storm. This race is 1 mile. It's a traditional race run at Longacres. Before that track closed in 1992, and they moved to the brand new racetrack,
for the mile.
Emerald
Tropic Storm
Downs.
has gone up.
They're loading in the gate for the 73rd running of the Longacres Mile. Let's go to the track announcer.
Mile winner,
Get him in
Flamethrower
the
Texan. Wasserman goes in. On to the west to gate #9. School and You has moved up. There are just a few back. Diligent Prospect. Assessment. Canadian champion, True Metropolitan. Last to load is Call on Carson. Stand by for a start. This is the 73rd running of the Grade 3 Longacres Mile. Waiting for Call on Carson. Side on. Has gone in. All in. Locked up. Away and racing in the 73rd Longacres Mile, and Diligent Prospect and Flamethrowing Texan best away with Nationhood, and Flamethrowing Texan getting across. Onto the west, tracks up, and Tropic Storm began really well on the inside, but the Tex out in front, out the stretch. Flamethrowing Texan a length, Tropic Storm off the inside to second. A half to Call on Carson. Onto the west is right there in fourth. A length away fifth, Le Hook's Dancer. 2 back midfield, Nationhood. A length Southern Africa, then True Metropolitan, about 7 off the lead. 4 lengths away, Diligent Prospect, Wasserman the inside. Assessment is second last, and 5 away last is School and You. Flamethrowing Texan by a length to Tropic Storm, moving up alongside. 3 wide, Call on Carson, right behind them with the run of the race. Onto the west, a length and a half away fourth. Le Hook's Dancer on the inside, making ground. A length and a half to Nationhood. They're out by 2 to True Metropolitan. A couple to Wasserman, then Diligent Prospect starting a run. Well back is Southern Africa Assessment, and a long last School and You. A half in 44 and 3, and can the Tex keep going? Flamethrowing Texan in front. Tropic Storm and neck away, edging for the lead, and Tropic Storm has gone to the lead now from Flamethrowing Texan by a head. 2 lengths to Call on Carson. Here comes True Metropolitan. True Metropolitan winding up with Wasserman. Onto the west, can't go on, and Nationhood's well back. Top of the stretch, Tropic Storm led Flamethrowing Texan, but here comes True Metropolitan. True Metropolitan down the outside, Wasserman. Tropic Storm in front, a length and a half. Wasserman, True Metropolitan, they're the dangers. Wasserman's getting them. Wasserman on the outside, and True Metropolitan take over. Wasserman take.
All right, let's go to race 3. We'll try to find out what happened there in that race from Longacres where the Dakota crashed on us. Let's go to today's 3rd race, and we see a 6-5 favorite. Man of Charisma will be the favorite here for Andy Mathis, Alex Pisono, Scratch Hot Tizzy, and Casino King.
Racing. Forgivable Bob wins the start from the extreme outside. Black Titan Knight, and now Perfect Law going very fast. Perfect Law runs to the lead. At the 5/8 pole, it's Perfect Law by a length to Forgivable Bob and Black Titan Knight. Mayor of Del Mar 4th. 3 lengths clear of Man of Charisma, with Inclement Weather 2 lengths last of all. Field covered by 8, and Perfect Law is getting pressure from Forgivable Bob. They get away 2 lengths to Black Tie Tonight, enjoying a nice stalking trip into the turn. Mayor of Del Mar has lost ground on that leading trio, joined on the outside by Man of Charisma. That pair now 6 lengths out of it, and another 6 lengths to Inclement Weather. Coming up to the quarter pole, Perfect Law on the inside of Forgivable Bob, together by 3 lengths to Black Tie Tonight. Mayor of Del Mar on the inside, and next in the field is Man of Charisma. Down the extreme outskirts, about 6 off the lead. Perfect Law is getting away from Forgivable Bob at the 8th pole, followed by Black Tie Tonight, who's starting to stretch out nicely. 16th pole, Perfect Law about to be tackled by Black Tie Tonight. Perfect Law, Black Tie Tonight coming at him strongly in the last little bit. Got there in the last stride. Black Tie Tonight nailing Perfect Law, followed home by Forgivable Bob and Man of Charisma.
All right, in exciting fashion, Black Tie Tonight gets up and wins it by a head. A tough beat for Perfect Law, who led through the stretch right to the wire. Black Tie Tonight's owned by Dino Forrestal and James Quinn. It was Gennaro Vallejo saddling for William Anton Georgi, and the winner's first victory of 2008, and quite a victory there for Black Tie Tonight. All right, we're going to take a quick break, still try to find out what happened in Longacres. We had a great race going until the picture blew up. Anyway, I want to remind you, at the top of the show, we were telling you about the great DVD that we made on the history of Bay Meadows. It's called A Rich Tradition. It has footage of the great Seabiscuit. It has some of the, there you see Seabiscuit coming on the track for the 1937 Bay Meadows Handicap, and there's the photographers, 1 photographer per horse. And anyway, it has about the opening and takes you right up until Russell Baze passes Ping Kai. How do you get a copy? Well, this is what you do. Send a $6 or more check as a donation to CARMA, Karma. That is a organization that helps retired racehorses. Then you send that donation check to Bay Meadows, Post Office Box 5050, San Mateo, California 94402. And then Bay Meadows will send you a copy of this DVD video on the history of Bay Meadows beginning in 1934 on November 3rd, taking you right up to today. So check it out. Get yourself, not one, get a few for your friends, racing fans, to see the history of 75 years of racing at Bay Meadows. There's the address, Post Office Box 5050, Bay Meadows, San Mateo, California. Make this contribution. This is a donation to a charity, Karma, C-A-R-M-A, which supports retired racehorses. Barron's Jewelers has been bringing you the races since the day I started, Labor Day 1978. It began with the late Bart Heller and continues today with his son, Ronnie. So if you're looking for a special gift, which could be just for yourself, then think of Barron's. Either at the new store in San Leandro, over at New Park Mall, or out in Pleasanton at Stonebridge. All right, let's go to the 4th mile 16th from today, earlier today on the turf. And Millistan, the Irish bred, will be your 2-to-1 favorite. Neil Drysdale and Brice Blanc in town to ride.
Region 5 from the front, 2.5 to I Am Thor, being shaded on the outside by 2 turns. To the 3/8 pole, it's Crafty Power, given every chance in front by Gonzo. A length and a quarter from Blue Torpedo, Catch Me in Your Dreams. Milliston right on the back of Blue Torpedo with 3 lengths to make up. A gap of 2 to I Am Thor on the inside of 2 turns, and Eager for Region out wide. At the quarter pole, Crafty Power leads Blue Torpedo. 2 lengths to Catch Me in Your Dreams. Milliston to the outside in the blue sleeves and yellow cap. And next is I Am Thor. Crafty Power leading at the 8th pole, but quickly being tackled by Milliston. In the middle is Blue Torpedo. I Am Thor is next, but Milliston goes to the lead. Here comes 2 turns with a flashing finish, but Milliston's the leader, and Milliston has beaten 2 turns by a neck. A length and a half, Eager for Region third, then I Am Thor.
So the favorite, Millistan, will win it by 3/4 of a length, and ridden by Brice Blanc for Neil Drysdale, and wins today's 4th from Bay Meadows. All right, we're jumping all around, but now we still trying to find out what happened at Longacres on that tremendous finish we'll get that for you shortly. Here it is. This is unbelievable. This is a great story. You know, this is the first woman jockey to ever win this race in 73. This is the 73rd running. And we had Joe Withy on to preview this race for us yesterday. And this is a great story because Wasserman is owned, bred, and trained by Howard Belvoir, had never won going a distance of ground. Its victories had been at 6, 6.5. Was beaten ahead for the Mount Rainier at 1 mile and an 1/8, and was kind of the local rooting interest, being a Washington-bred, owned and trained by Howard Belvoir. Jennifer Whitaker is the first woman jockey ever to win this race, and so it's a thrilling finish. We're sorry that the picture blew up. True Metropolitan was the runner-up. Tropic Storm, the big favorite, finishing 3rd. So we're happy to bring you that. And now let's go back to Bay Meadows for this closing day and see who wins the 5th race today in this sprint for 3-year-olds and up.
Racing. Dance with the Devil, Vidclip away well. Out wide, Chauncey prominently positioned early. Jimmy DeLoya going up in the white blinkers for a share of the lead. Senor Happy in the red colours is right with them as well. Over on the inside, mid-pack is Shaken to Roll. Valid Copy drifting rearwards, and he's got a Hemi as the early trailer. 4 of them jostling for the lead at the half-mile pole. Dance with the Devil just in the front. Senor Happy 3 wide. Out 4 deep comes Jimmy DeLoya. Vidclip was with them on the inside, is now dropping back a length and a half away 4th. Shaken Roll taken off the fence by Julian Couton, moves up and joins Vidclip, and out wider on the track is Chauncey, only 2.5 lengths covering this pack of 6, and a long margin to the other pair, Valid Copy, and he's got a Hemi. They're at the quarter pole, led by Dance with the Devil. In second position as they swing for home is Shaken Roll, who is finishing with zest, and then behind them Vidclip getting shut out as Shaken Roll drifted inwards. It's Shaken Roll alongside Dance with the Devil, 2.5 lengths clear of Vidclip. Chauncey's running the 4th. It's Dance with the Devil and Shaken Roll. Dance with the Devil producing a plenty, and Dance with the Devil has won by a neck to Shaken Roll. Vidclip ran into trouble at the 8th pole, but made no ground there afterwards. He was 3rd, and Chauncey 4th.
So, Dance with the Devil wins it here. Valerie Roden saddled, and Juan Ochoa was in the saddle, owned by Joe Duffel and Mr. and Mrs. Rick Sackett, the 3-year-old second win on the year. Dance with the Devil, returning $760 on the win in today's 5th. James DeLoyer was claimed by Mark Glad. We'll take a quick break. Want to remind you that after tomorrow, the satellite wagering switches to the fairgrounds. So you'll be going to the fairgrounds to watch and wager on the races around the country and from the State Fair, which opens on Wednesday.
Could your racing stable use a boost? Last year, California breds earned over $57 million in California, plus owners' awards of $1.6 million. If you race in California, it really does pay to buy in California at Barrett's. Our fall selected yearling sale, conducted September 30th, will offer quality California-bred yearlings by nationally ranked sires. Recent graduates include graded winners Golden Doc A and Lethal Heat. For catalogs, contact Barrett's or visit our website.
All right, we'll go 7.5 on the turf in this 6th race today. And in the 6th race, the favorite at 2-1 will be Prairie City Road for Lloyd Mason and Saul Arias. Prairie City Road.
Prairie City Road leads a half length or so from Mr. Furious. 2 lengths away 3rd is Bank the Cash in front of Sweetville, and then Hooker Hottie going forward again on the inside of Artfully Done. Gerriga's 3 wide past the half-mile pole with 6 to make up. A couple of lengths to Dancing Wild Fire, Marry Me Doc, and Victory Trail is at the back. 3/8 left to run, 11 lengths covers the field. Prairie City Road has travelled smoothly on a clear lead. Comes around the second turn, a length in advance of Mr. Furious. 2 lengths away, 3rd is Sweetville. Round the outside, Gerrig is coming home strongly. Bank the Cash 5th on the inside. Hooker Hottie is next. Dancing Wildfire moving forward. The blue blinkers, red cap, although he got carried a bit wide at the top of the stretch and lost ground. To the 8th pole, Prairie City Road in front. Gehrig is setting out after the leader with Mr. Furious running a third. Here is Gehrig laying down the gauntlet to Prairie City Road. Gehrig goes to the lead, and it's Gehrig coming on to win 3/4 of a length to Prairie City Road. Victory Trail rushing into third. Mr. Furious ran fourth.
And saddled by Greg Gilchrist, ridden by David Lopez for the estate of Harry Aleo. The winner, Gehrig, 960 here in the 6th. Earlier, we showed you the running of the 7th race, and we will now give you the results of today's 7th. It went to Attica. Attica won and got the maiden win here for Doug Utley. He's the owner and trainer, and Catalino Martinez rode to victory. And earlier, we showed you the running of the 8th. An exciting race finish there. No Nibbling, who was beaten on the length last time, wins for Tim Bellis as owner-trainer. Modesto Linares was in the saddle. We'll take a quick break and back with Delmar. Have a plumbing problem? Don't panic. Call Service One Plumbing. For over 2 decades, we've been providing quality work that is guaranteed. Whether residential or commercial, Service One Plumbing is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We are here when you need us. Service One Plumbing. Call us toll-free, 1-888-694-8999. 1-888-694-8999. All right, Search for the Truth won the first half of the double down south today in over Lucky Honey to win the first on Sunday at Delmar. In the second race, Lon Mendana wins it and paid $11.80 as Pedro Ambula was aboard for Jeff Mullins. Timias wins it, and that's Garrett Gomez for John Sadler going a mile in today's third. In the fourth race today, Stunningly wins it. Stunningly was Corey Nakatani for Mike Pipey and was the big favorite at 8-5. In the fifth race, Swift wins it, pays $10.80. And it was David Flores for Victor Garcia. The race number 6 goes to Midshipman, and that's Tyler Baze for Bob Bafford. This was a 2-year-old race. The 7th, America's Friend, and that's Alex Solis. We showed you this race live. Barry Abrams saddled and was the 2-1 favorite. And then it was the 8th race, Swiss Ski won it, and Swiss Ski was the winner, Martin Garcia for Mike Harrington. All right, we'll show you live going out here with Bay Meadows. That's our final show ever from Bay Meadows, and we'll be coming to you from the State Fair on Wednesday. That's right, California State Fair from Cal Expo. We'll go out with Bay Meadows. Hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it, and I'm going to miss it after 31 years of being here at Bay Meadows. Good night, everybody.
The preceding program was sponsored by Sam Spear Enterprises.